Today, I'm going to give beginners 3 things they can do right now to get better that they can incorporate in their practice. I tried to make them as not obvious as possible, so you may be thinking, well, of course, if I'm a beginner, if I get more practice, I'm going to get better. So I didn't even include that in the list. These are going to be 3 things you probably may have not considered. So let's get on to the first thing, which is be efficient. Save the things you want to practice towards the end and spend the first 3/4 of your practice focus on what you want to accomplish. So you want to be focused. A lot of students think, well, if I spend more time at the piano, then I'm going to get better. Well, if you're not focusing in on your goals, if you're trying to get better at scales, you want to be spending your time on your scales. You want to be getting better at your pieces, you want to be spending your time on that. You definitely don't want to get into the habit of working in the songs you like to play or doodling around in the portion of the lesson, which should be most of it, where you're supposed to be sitting down and focusing on what you are working on. So you want to be as efficient as you can. That will make every minute count, and it will also help you develop good habits in terms of being able to focus. It's actually something that we have to learn how to do. All right, let's get on to the second thing that I recommend beginners do. Okay, number 2 is don't start from the beginning when you make a mistake all the time. It's very, very easy to get into a piece, make a mistake somewhere in the middle, and then go back to the beginning of the piece, which makes really no sense at all. I see especially a lot of younger students, but I even see some older students do it as well. And I'll show you exactly what I mean right here. Okay, so say I'm learning this nocturne right here, and I start from the beginning. And I made a mistake right there in the third complete measure. Well, what a lot of students will do is they will seriously start from the beginning again, and then work their way where they were just a second ago, and they might make the same mistake again. And I'm serious, a lot of students do this, and you may very well be making this mistake and not being aware of it. So you always want to be aware that if you are doing this, you want to stop. What should you do? How should we remedy this situation? Well, when you make a mistake, like if I made a mistake on that third line, I want to go over just that third measure, a couple of times. And already I have it because I do know this song a bit, and I was making that mistake on purpose. But that's seriously what you want to do, and then you want to go back to the beginning and see if you can play, or maybe just the beginning of the line rather, and see if you can play up past the measure you were having trouble with, and the other measures after it, of course. I won't need to play the whole thing, but that's just what I mean. So always start back from the measure you made the mistake on, and then go back maybe a couple of measures into where that was, and then a few measures after, just to get the entire in context. Because if you correct something measure by itself, you might still have trouble coming into that measure from a different measure and then exiting that measure into another one. All right, let's get on to the third thing I think beginners should do to get better at piano. Okay, so the third thing I want to tell you today, which is probably one of the most important things, is that results come from consistent practice. You may be thinking, well, duh, right? Well, the thing is that consistent practice, it's more important, I think, to practice every day than it is to practice 3 hours at a time, right? You're going to get better results just practicing maybe a half hour a day than you will practicing probably 3 hours, maybe 3 days, and then taking a bunch of time off. So consistency is key. You can take off a day here or there, especially if your schedule is really packed with other things to do. That makes a lot of sense to me. But just remember that consistency really is key. So if you are kind of stuck as a beginner and you're wondering why you're not getting any better, and maybe you're only spending 2 days a week, or you're spending 3 days here and then taking off 4 and then 2 and off 4, you're not really getting the results you want. Try getting consistent practice, sitting down even if you can for 10 minutes every single day, and you'll make a lot more progress. So try that out if you are running into that problem. if you take a week vacation and can't practice, will your level drop? Probably not. Actually, you might find with just a week, now if you take a month off, you'll most definitely notice a difference in the negative direction. But if you've been practicing very consistently for a while and you take off a week and go on vacation and relax, you might actually come back and be able to play a little bit better. And you might be able to approach your pieces with a fresh mind. Every once in a while, taking a little bit of time away from the piano is great. But then you want to come back to that consistency as soon as you can. So I don't think you'll notice any decline at all. In fact, you won't, don't get me wrong, you won't be any better at playing piano, but you'll come back and you'll be more refreshed and ready to learn. So you might have a better experience learning when you come back. Okay, we have a question from our live stream attendee here. Do you recommend practicing several pieces in each practice session for better development? Well, that's a great question, and I recommend definitely learning more than one piece. I mean, if you're feeling overwhelmed, just learn one piece, but you definitely want to learn more than one. In terms of how many you want to be learning, I would honestly stick to around 3. I would pick a piece that is a little bit of a breeze, a little bit easy to get through. And then I would be learning a piece that's like maybe a little bit challenging, but right around your level. So something in the middle. And then I'd also be practicing something that's a bit more of a challenge, just to kind of change up your palette of what you've been practicing. You don't want to be practicing all easy stuff, because you won't get any better. You also don't want to be practicing all hard stuff, because trust me, it will get frustrating over time to practice all really challenging things. So it's always good to get a balance. A great question. All right, let's see if we have any other questions. Okay, we have a question from Marion here. Once you learn how to play a song, can you play them all? Or you'll have to spend a month learning every single song. Okay, if I am interpreting this right, once you learn how to play a song, can you play them all? Well, you can't play every song once you learn a song, or you spend a month learning every single song. Not a month. It depends on the piece, on how long it will take you. When you learn a piece, obviously you won't be able to learn if you learn one piece, doesn't mean you will be able to learn every other piece. But what you will find is, as you learn a bunch of different pieces, that the patterns, the chords and things, you'll definitely see patterns come up in different pieces. So once you're used to playing a variety of pieces, it gets easier to learn new pieces, because if it's a passage or a chord progression or something you've seen before, you'll be able to play it a little bit easier. So the knowledge does build on itself. For sure. And you don't have to relearn everything every single time. When you're first learning, it will seem like that every piece is, an undertaking, and that it's, a lot of things to learn all the time. But as you get better and better and more experience, you'll run into a lot of things you've seen before. So even me, when I sight read, there's a lot of things in the music that I've seen in the past. So my brain clicks with it right away. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, so on the main channel page, if you go to playlists, that's what you want to do. You want to scroll down. If you are a beginner just starting out, which is probably why you're watching this lesson today, you definitely want to check out this section under the playlist called Lessons for Beginner Piano Students. And specifically, you want to click this one called Beginners Start Here Piano Lesson Set 1. It looks like I did accidentally already, so you want to get it there. I'm going to put up a pop-up for you that you can click on. You also check the link of the description for this playlist. So if you're brand new, you want to start right here. So thanks for coming out, everybody. This has been Tiff from Lessons on the Web, and I'll talk to you real soon.